Hello YouTube! Today I'm going to show you how to replace an LCD on a MacBook Air without changing lid and frame and the backlight. This is not an easy job, but at the same time there's nothing special which couldn't be performed by an average tech guy. This guide is for you if you have MacBook Air 11 or 13-inch size produced later than 2010. I will work with the MacBook Air 13-inch A1369 produced on 2013. But the process is same for every other generation and the screen size, except for minor issues which are not relevant to this particular repair. This is not an easy job. Even LCD changing on a MacBook Pro Retina is less complicated and tedious. Nonetheless, this is nothing an average tech nerd couldn't perform. Okay, not a nerd, a nice tech guy. Not very much is needed. Be patient, be attentive, and have a spare LCD. Why is this repair so difficult? Apple wanted to make the upper lid very thin and they managed to strip the LCD of its case. And this is how it looks now, an actual liquid crystal matrix with a control board and thank god a polarizer. Backlight, diffuser, reflector will stay with your laptop forever, as I don't know where you could buy spare parts like that. These layers are vulnerable to high temperature and touch. Almost any accidental touch with bare hands leave marks on the surface and may become a bright or wavy area on the screen. And that means that we will have to be very gentle during the repair, as almost every step requires heating the areas near these sheets. To perform the repair you will need a screwdriver set, play cut deck, utility knife, double-sided adhesive tape, the best you can get, compressed gas duster, latex or nylon gloves. During the repair we will also use a heat gun. I strongly recommend that you use a heat gun you already know, and if it's your first time with the tool, practice with it a little bit on something similar. The first step is to separate the aluminium frame from the lid, and yes, it is possible not to bend it during removal. To separate the frame we will use a utility knife and a source of heat. The frame is bonded to the lid very badly, and if we try to cut the adhesive layers we are running the risk of damaging the frame and the rubber gasket around. We're trying to heat the frame only, not the gasket around or the LCD inside. The temperature we're trying to achieve is not very high. You must be able to touch the heated surface with bare hands. After you heated the frame, try to make a cut under it. As the LCD is already broken, you may rest your hand on its surface. Don't worry, it won't do any harm. You better start from the right side, as there is nothing vulnerable underneath. This may require you to apply some force, but be as gentle as you can. If you cut deeper than needed, you may cut the gasket as well. A short explanation on what could happen if we overheat the lid. If we overheat the gasket, it will become glossy, which is not that bad, but it's a sign that it has already started to melt. And then it may even lose its shape. I know that you can buy a new gasket these days, but I bet you haven't got one yet. The worst thing that can happen is damaging the backlight and adjacent layers, and unfortunately that is very easy and usually there is nothing you can do about it. After you've separated one side, insert a play card under the frame. This will prevent the frame from bonding again. Actually, it is hard to damage anything underneath the frame, but we will use a play card near the camera, just in case. After you've separated the frame, clean it out the old adhesive and apply a new one where it was. Now it's time to remove the old LCD. We will not use a knife anymore, only a heat gun and a play card. Be twice as careful when we were than we removed the frame. Small trick with LCD removal. It is bonded to the lid only on 3 or 4 sides, and at the bottom it is bonded to the steel plate, which is screwed to the LCD. Unscrew the plate and start separating the LCD together with the plate from one of the bottom corners. Heat up the corner a little, try to pry under the plate and move the card towards the top of the screen. Do not move the card deeper than 3-4 mm. A card with glue particles will definitely leave marks on the diffuser. Looks like we've made it. Now we'll have to clean out the lid of the old adhesive and apply adhesive on the new LCD. If LCD have left some debris on the lid, you will have to deal with it very carefully. Don't let the particles damage the diffuser. If for any reason you will have to interact with backlight layers, use latex or nylon gloves and a gas duster. On the broken LCD we have left steel plate which we are going to reuse. I recommend you to heat old LCD as much as it possible with your gear. This will make the separation easy. We will not bond the plate with new LCD in the first place. Instead we screw it to the lid where it was. Okay, it's time to install a new LCD. The LCD board must be wrapped around inside the lid, and it is pretty hard to connect the backlight and signal cables. This may be tricky, but I know how to make your life a little easier. When you try to install the display signal cable, try to put it out a little, and then move the latch 180 degrees backwards. The latch will serve as support while you connect the cable with the connector. The backlight flex is much harder to install, and it is easy to make a mistake and connect it upside down. Be attentive. Contact pads must look towards the board. Now the LCD is connected and it's time to clean the dust off. I recommend that you use a compressed gas duster, otherwise there is a high chance that you will damage the diffuser. After we make sure that dust has been removed, we strip the LCD from the protective film and put it in the lid. Okay, the last and by all means easiest operation is to put the frame back where it belongs and press together the lid and the frame. The LCD assembly is ready. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time.